Hey, so what you're about to watch is a podcast episode. Doesn't have an intro because we sat down, we just started talking. It is an honest approach at what we're both going through, and we wanted to be able to just document it and share it without any kind of structure or trying to make it look like it's something it wasn't. So this is a combination of the Better Dad podcast and Heavyweights with me and Michael Wilson. I got so much to just get off my chest.
I'm glad you said chest. Yeah, you do look dark. Are you still
Just been in the sun, bro.
like you've been bodybuilding, lathering up with?
I was bodybuilding. Now I am body tearing down.
You're still building, just not in a good way.
Yeah. You know how you get to those like investor specials in those rental properties where they just paint over a fly? Like that's the kind of body maintenance I'm doing right now. Okay.
That's good. That's good. Dude, so much happened today. Like since we had dinner.
Just today?
Just since you were at the house. What was that, Sunday night?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. It's just been nuts. I haven't stopped.
Good nuts?
Good stuff. Yeah, but the way I handle it hasn't always been ideal. So
What does that mean? Why aren't you handling it well?
Oh, just like you ever just like have a plan for your day, and then you wake up to. I know I'm asking this because I know the answer. It was just like you have a plan for your day, and then you just wake up and chaos ensues, and you're like,
It's just
the first thing it's like, okay, that sucks,
Sure.
but we can roll with that. Then the other thing comes, and then it's like, all right, it's gonna be one of those days,
Yeah.
but we can handle it. And then by like the middle of the afternoon, it's like, what happened?
Yeah, I had all this stuff planned to do, and I got none of it done.
I literally had that. Did my routine, do all the right things last week, Friday, so that I could be present at home over the weekend.
Right.
And then I didn't look at that to-do list that I had for Monday until 9 p.m. after my kids had gone to sleep. Like that was the first time I went to that page, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do today." That's infuriating.
Well, with my mom going to the hospital this week, it has really, so like it's so hard to explain it to people because like it wasn't a dire visit. Like obviously it was serious, and obviously there was a lot going on that she needed to know. But like there wasn't like an emergency or rush. Like they just came and monitored some stomach stuff that was going on. It could have been super serious, but the regular day-to-day stuff, like my truck getting hit or getting stranded on the lake or losing a couple $1,000s in real estate deals or like my HVAC breaking, all those things are just
the regular stuff.
Those things have been fine.
Just your normal Tuesday.
But my mom, went to the ambulatory care center, and they're like, "Hey, we think you should probably like stay." And she was like, "Okay." So she like went home, packed a bag, came back, checked in the hospital, and just chilled. And so then like Cohen and I came up to see her. And when we came in to see her, it was a casual experience for me because I had talked to her all day long about what was going on. She shared with me. Mm-hmm. And then I walked in and Cohen said hi to her, and, all this stuff was going on, and her room was private and it was nice, and the hospitalist was great. And then I sat down in this chair and I like looked at my mom in a hospital bed. Dude, and it wrecked me. I don't know what I didn't prepare for or had prepared for. But like my mom's, I don't know of a time I've ever seen her in the hospital. And like, our parents get older, like that's part of it. We know that aging is inevitable, and like at some point we're all going to die. But shoot, dude, seeing my mom in a hospital bed about pushed me over the edge. And so the last 4 days she's been in there, I feel like my whole rhythm has just been off. You know what I mean? Like
I could sense it.
I want to call her, you know what I mean? And like, there was a time where I couldn't call her, and I was like, man, I took for granted how much of a privilege it is to call my mom and to talk to my mom. And so today they were able to discharge her, and so she got to come home with me, and she's awesome. She's watering her plant. She's doing just fine. There's nothing crazy going on. But I don't know if that was like the Lord being like, hey man, let me test your volume real quick and see how loud you are.
Yeah.
And that dude, I don't know why. It's just,
well, yeah. What do you think? I mean, what do you think? Like, was it fear, or was it like, cause I've been there. Like I've seen, not with my mom, which, I mean, you really had me when you called me and were telling me that. You had me going about my mom.
yeah.
And what, like, you guys live, what, like,
Quarter of a mile apart.
or like you could throw a rock and hit her from, you know. My mom's a couple hours away, and I'm like, what would I do in that situation? What would I be able to do? What's the expectation? The relationship's different.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom, but like, it's different.
Yeah.
So, but I've been in a situation where my dad was in the hospital.
Right.
And so, and that happened quite a bit as I was a teenager, but when I was 19, like, I went to the hospital and visited him because he had pneumonia and all this stuff, and he was going to be fine, and I left, and then he died later that night. He came off the ventilator, and it was like, whoa. And so I know this isn't about me, but, and I don't want to plant thoughts, but I was curious, like, what was really going on?
You know what, man? I was thinking about that today, that exact same thing. And I think selfishly, there was a part of me that saw my mom not have a life partner. And I was like, oh, shoot, I don't have a life partner. Like, if I got sick, who would take care of me? If something happened to me, would there be somebody that came and sat by my side? And like at 35, sure, I'd have a lot of friends and family come support and be great. But as far as like that life partner where you really like leaned on your person, I didn't have.
Yeah.
Dude, that was, you know, sometimes you're a big tough guy and you walk around, you don't need nobody, and lonely is the best way to be. But man, that was exposing. But then the second part of it too was like just the idea of not being able to talk to my mom. And I rely on her for a lot of things. Sometimes she's a sounding board. Sometimes she's an accountability partner. Sometimes she corrects me when I'm being a crybaby or, you know, selfish. And like our relationship is so rich. I'm so grateful for what I have with my mom. But just the idea of like that being affected and me not having control over it, that's always my problem, is control.
Yeah.
But like relenting that and being like, all right, Lord, like you've got it. So please don't fumble it. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, you trust God with it, but you're like kind of giving him stipulations where you're like, hey man, you know, you can have this, but please just
handle
keep
it the way I want you to.
Yeah. And I'm convicted by that too. Cause I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm really like surrendering. I think I'm just kind of like offering it to God on my terms.
Yeah.
And you know, the first 8.5 minutes, we've already dove into that.
Well, I mean, dude, it's so easy to do with you. I was thinking about that. Honestly, you just hit on this weird. I got a couple guys that I do like a discipleship group with on Tuesday mornings. And yesterday, one of the guys sent me like this weird AI Viking Christian music. It's pretty intense.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
But I was like, okay. At first, I was like, what are we doing? You know, like, what is this? I started listening to it. The first song was about like Vikings are known for being like strong.
Sure.
Like
Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this first song is about being like, not being strong, about like being a real man. A real man isn't just about being strong. It's about being surrendered. Like that's not what the Lord is looking for. And so first it made me think of you, like you're one of the strongest dudes I know for sure. But surrender is something that comes hard to both of us. And then I see like Christian masculinity glorified and being strong and capable. but like not a lot of it is surrendered.
That's so good.
I think the Lord is moving, and you see guys like I don't want to call anybody out, but you see guys that have way bigger platforms
Sure.
than I'll ever have, who have professed faith in Jesus and are making His name big, and praise the Lord for that.
Yeah,
but it's also all around being like yoked and being like disciplined and man, if they could get to that point of like, no, Christian masculinity, being a man of God is being surrendered.
Yeah.
Like if we can get to that.
And that's so anti-cultural for us too, because every movie we grew up loving was anti-surrender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, give us liberty or give us death, or like never give up, never surrender. Like it was like, I'll die on the sword.
Yeah.
And so the idea of us as men going, okay, here's my weapons, here's my position, here's my everything. You take it, Lord. Like one, it feels weak. Two, it's vulnerable because you're like, what are you going to do with it if I give it to you? Because something that's been really said to me a lot this week is like, so I said it earlier, all the bad stuff that's been going on in my life, or just difficult circumstances, however we want to name them.
Opportunities.
Yeah. There have been so many people that have been like, hey, but think about what's on the other side of this. Like, think about what God is preparing for you. And like, that's such a nice sentiment. And you get so excited about that. And you're like, yeah, man, like if this is the valley, wait for the mountain. And like, the more I've thought about it, the more not biblical that is. Like just because you experience suffering does not mean like prosperity is coming.
Yeah.
At all.
This side of
heaven. Yeah,
right,
for real.
Right.
And so like, I don't know. I think I had to really, I've started telling people, hey, please don't tell me that.
Yeah. Have you read Jeremiah? Have you heard of the prophet
Or
Jeremiah?
Job, dude. Job.
Well, so Job is an example of God redeemed and brought prosperity back to his life.
Yeah, but without a timeline.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of people being like, dude, don't worry, Job. I know your kids died and everything happened, but you'll get it back sometime.
Maybe. That was never promised.
Yeah. So like something that was said this week at church, they went through Psalms 23, and we quote that all the time, the Lord's Prayer, and it's on every mug and pillow at Mardell, and he was talking about a scary basement that he had. About as a kid, you grew up, and there's like the scary basement you had, or the room in your house you were scared of.
Oh yeah, I had that.
And when you were down there with your brothers or sisters or your family, the room was fine. You had no fear. You didn't even worry about what was in that room. But the moment the lights turned off and you were by yourself, the shadows turned into animated movement, and there was noises you heard. And so what was unique about what they said was that the circumstances or the basement never changed. It was still a scary basement. But when your dad was downstairs, you didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And so like the proximity of the Father didn't change the circumstances. It didn't make your situation any better, but you didn't have to be afraid because he was near.
Well, that's good.
And so like, I think I've not fallen subject to this myself. We get so quick to go, man, if God's not in it, it's not working. But if God's in it, it's going to be successful. And like, that's also not biblical.
Dude, can I read that?
Please.
Like there's just a line that I highlighted this morning while I was meeting with those guys from the book we're studying. It says, a more biblical view is the awareness that we do not exist apart from God, and that in all we do, we have to do with God. Any action we take, right or wrong, is a response to God and involves God, and any action of God toward us also involves us. And that's exactly that's what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, God's not in this or not in this. Like, he has a way that if you will follow is like a path of righteousness. But that it's crazy the things that you just said that it just goes across every conversation that I've been having today.
You know the other thing that sucks? I understand that I have a very loud life, and I've made it loud. Like, I know that my social media is loud. I very well could delete it and disappear tomorrow. But, taking the position I have in whether it's man days or even in the jobs that I've held within this town, like I have a very loud life, very big personality. I'm very big presence. I know that about myself. A dog, sometimes that is weighty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I can ever have bad days.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like I can ever respond poorly. Like there's such a tightness about me sometimes in my chest to where I'm just like, I can't say the wrong thing. I can't show up poorly. I can't. And so like I've been feeling it in real estate too, because I don't know why the last 6 months I've just been so burdened by like the business model of real estate. And it's not real estate's fault, but just clients that use you and take advantage of you and then go use somebody else. Or agents that tell you one thing and do another. Or, you know, there's documents involved and interactions with all sorts of different people. And he said this and she said this, and they're not going to use you anymore. It's just like very cutthroat and nasty. And so like sometimes I look at the people that are successful in the business and I'm like, and they're not good people. Like almost every person I see in the success of real estate is a bad person. And I don't mean that and like whatever, take it for what it's worth. You can you know where I'm at. I'll meet you in person for coffee. I would tell you to your face. I don't see like outward integrity. I don't see client first movement. I don't see relationship building. I see it presented that way. I see a facade, but almost now we've welcomed the douchey entrepreneur. Like the guy, like the more douchey they are, the more credibility we give them. And I'm like, as a society, I'm like, why aren't we calling this stuff out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me mad. Because I look at these guys or girls or whoever's doing it, and I go, my high school self, who had less self-control, would have made so much fun of you. Like you were such a clown.
Yeah.
And you're making all this money, and there's all these people on your Facebook commenting, being like, "Dude, you're killing it, bro. You're the man, bro." And I'm like, why are we gassing this guy up?
Yeah.
Why are we gassing this kind of behavior up? So I don't know. Like this last 6 months for me has been like, I'm gonna try and gas up the behavior that I believe is like kingdom worthy.
Yeah.
That's why Man Days has been so heavy on my heart, man, because, you know, 100 to 150 guys that come that you look out that crowd and you see all these guys sitting there, you see them leaned over, you see tears from certain guys, you see like relationships being built and you're just like, how do I get paid to do that?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't even really, I mean, being rich sounds cool, but almost everybody I know that's rich doesn't like it in a lot of areas.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, it's hard to frown on a jet ski, right? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you're not having your worst day on a yacht.
It's like
You know what I mean?
not an unhappy person usually on a jet ski, but I mean, it's momentary.
Yeah.
And I think
It is.
there's a couple things you said in there. One, the weight of responding perfectly all the time wasn't something that God expected you to do. So I think, I mean, I could misquote scripture all day long, but the reality is that Jesus didn't die for you to accept forgiveness for all the sins you had committed at the point of salvation. And then now all of a sudden, okay, I'm saved. I got to get everything right from now on.
That's so
It's
good.
like otherwise you're dictating the terms of his offering to his Father, right? So you're dictating that, well, it was only good until then, but now if I don't respond perfectly every time, then I'm letting him down. It's like, no, you're negating the ultimate value and the worth of his death, burial, resurrection, right?
And I think that's the hard part for us too, because in the businesses that we own, we are our business.
Well, it also comes back to the idol of control that you talked about.
Yeah.
Of like, well, if I can just do this, then this output, this outcome. Well, if I can just respond perfectly every time, then the outcome will be I will have a faithful witness and people will listen to what I have to say and they'll follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like, most people that connect with, like, so go to Man Days was the connection was most people that connect with you at Man Days is from the times you screwed up and are honest about it.
Mm.
Like where you say, I handled that horribly. I had my pastor, one of my best friends, Justin, preached on Sunday. He talked about this woman that he saw outside of a gas station here in Springfield, and he could tell that she was struggling. He was prompted by the Spirit to go speak with her and share the gospel with her, and he did nothing. And he shared that from stage. And do you know how many people resonated with that feeling and how he addressed it afterwards versus saying, like, and I handled that perfectly, and every response I've ever had is perfect. And it makes you completely unrelatable, because no matter how good people appear on social media or when they see you, everybody is struggling with the same things.
Yeah, that's real.
And so can we just be, and that's what you're saying, like, don't be a douche and pretend like you have it all together.
Yeah.
Because it's unrelatable. But then because everybody wants to be seen like that, they don't care to actually be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, you have, like, the reality is owning your mistakes. This is just like parenthood. This is just fatherhood too. Like, you're not going to be perfect, but the chances you have to, like, redeem your imperfect moments and, like, repent to your kids and show them what it looks like to be dependent on the Father and not have to, like, have it all together. Like, I have these type A perfectionist girls in my house that want to do the right thing all the time, and they love the Lord. And I sense that I'm putting pressure on them by not exposing to them, like, hey, I've messed up. And I think there's this weight of, like, carrying everything perfectly. It's like, this is not the burden that, like Jesus says, come to me, those who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Like, take my yoke upon you, for it's easy and light. It's like, the yoke of a Christian, the call of a Christian is never to be perfect. It's to be real.
I think the other thing too is that success just is so differently measured in heaven. And I think I get so conceptualized with like the right now success that I forget and miss out on, like, what success looks like in the eyes of our Father.
What does it? I mean, what does he say? What does the Bible says when you get, the day of judgment's coming? That's real, right?
Sure.
What's the anticipated verbiage that we say that we expect to hear God say?
Yeah. Well done, good and faithful servant.
Faithful.
Yeah.
Not like super successful servant. Like, not well done, good and faithful business owner. Like, you're a faithful servant. So to be obedient to the call, to be faithful to what God's called you to do, not successful, and to be serving others. Like, I think it's right in there. Like, and
it's such a hard place to be into, because servanthood, I don't know if it comes naturally for anybody. Like, for the people that it does, allegedly, good for them. Because I see, like, a servant's heart in somebody, and I go, man, dude, like, you are like my mom. My mom is so hospitable. Like, one of the things that she does so well is that her home, and, like, her home has so many souls that have walked through that door that have been loved, that have heard Jesus, that have been fed well, physically and spiritually. And she plays with little kids, and she has deep conversation with adults. And, I entertained 6 people the other night, and I was so exhausted and done with it by the time they left. And I'm like, man, what is servanthood? How do I fill that cup? Like, what cup pours into servanthood? And I don't know.
I think, well, it goes back to spiritual gifting, and, like, my wife's the same way. I would say she can do both really well, but I think there's personalities, and you can look at, like, the structure of the church. If you have, like, an elder-led church, the way Fellowship puts it is, the elders serve by leading, and then the staff lead by serving. And so, and I see that in you, like, you are somebody who serves by leading. Like, you say you have a loud platform, but no, you're just a leader You can serve by being that vocal leader, by being the face that, but don't kid yourself and pretend like you're perfect.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna break you down.
Yeah. It's another thing this week I've been thinking about is the idea of a threshold. And I've thought about this because, I've watched all these different like thresholds go in this floor of this bathroom that's being remodeled at my house, and like the transition strip, or like the thing between here and here, and something so small, but it brings two completely different things together. And the idea of a threshold to where I'm asking the Lord, hey, where do I stop and where do you start? Because, like walking out and standing in front of traffic and being like, the Lord will protect me, and you get hit by a truck. You know what I mean? It's like you're an idiot, not a faithful servant.
Yeah.
And like that's obviously an exaggerated response, but sometimes when I'm in business, I go, God, is this my exit from real estate? I mean, do you have you had 27 fall throughs and people absolutely stomp all over my face to be like, Caleb, this is not what I want for you? Or have you been like, hey, Caleb, I want you to experience some struggle so that you appreciate this more, so that you can have a voice to share with other new agents that are struggling that might need to be encouraged. And so I'm like, I like praying for that discernment to know when to move, when to be still, like where God would have me go and do all these things. I was talking to another buddy yesterday. Him and his wife are trying to have a baby. And, he's like, how far do we go in the scientific world to try and make this happen, as opposed to saying it may or may not be God's timing?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know how to answer that for him.
Yeah.
Because go as far as you can.
Yeah.
Right? Like I would, I think.
I agree with that on principle, but I think the concept is obedience. I think it's going to look different for everybody. Like, can you pursue a relationship with the Lord so that you understand what obedience looks like to Him?
How do you do that with Landry?
Oh, that's a good question. What is obedience like? As far as like fighting for a cure,
yeah,
like
the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go? I won't rest. I'm doing everything that Michael Wilson can do.
Maybe uncomfortable. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's me a hard question.
Oh,
yeah.
well, but I told my mom when I left your house the other night, and I'm so emotional. I'm trying so hard to just not be a huge bag of puppy ears and just be soft right now. But when I left your house the other night, I'm so full when I leave your family.
It's a lot of ribs. You ate a lot of ribs.
No, the ribs were good for sure. I'll be down to eat those anytime. But just to hear squeals and laughter in your house, and to see you and your wife cohabitate together, and to pick up the slack for one another, and to see each other as nonverbals, and to know, oh, I need this, and oh, we need this. And then to have your daughter in the middle of the floor, and to watch you guys harmoniously love one another while loving her, while almost attempting to protect my feelings to make sure I'm not too uncomfortable. Like a weight that you guys have carried that most people don't understand and can't acknowledge or articulate. But doing all of that while still entertaining is like, that's incredible. And so I'm like, how do you... So this guy that I'm talking to who goes, man, where does the line stop, Caleb? Where do I stop being like, okay, how do I keep pursuing this? Here is your daughter who has taught you guys so many things, has had you guys experience more than you ever anticipated as parents, as people, as believers. And, where do you stop? Where is the line for the Wilson family and Landry when it comes to the Lord?
They're really, see, here's what I'm learning currently. This isn't something that I've known. I've been a believer for a lot of years. I'd be embarrassed to say, because I'm feeling really old lately. Man, I became a believer when I was 13. Okay. So I'm not going to let you do the math on that.
I'm bad at math.
What this process of sanctification has taken 20 plus years at least. So we'll say that.
Sure.
And I'm nowhere near there, but I'm learning this book has been extremely helpful. That it all comes down to who I believe I am, who I believe God says I am, like my identity. And so in the Bible, it describes what we've done in this. I grew up in the Christian culture, Southern Baptist, 2000s era popular Christianity with the promise rings and the WWJD and Jesus is my homeboy. And
oh yeah.
So there was this culture that, and then in the Baptist arena, it was also kind of like this hellfire brimstone, like get saved and, punch your ticket. And then I kind of just, as a teenager, just was like, well, I'm good and I'm going to do whatever we want.
That's relatable.
I just didn't have a full, I had a grasp of the gospel.
Yeah.
My eyes had been open, but not I don't have the relationship then that I do now. Anyway.
Yeah.
So this concept of being saved and like asking Jesus into my heart became like, okay, well, Jesus isn't here now. And so I'm good if something ever happens to me. But the Bible never talks about that process of like taking Jesus and going, making him really tiny and putting him in here. Yeah. Paul describes it as us being in Christ. So like this kind of like, Skylar, this guy that's in my group, he described it to me as like this, us phasing into the image of Christ. Like we are wrapped in, from God's perspective, Christ. Like we are Christ's representatives on this earth.
Yeah.
So when he looks and he sees his son everywhere. And so, but we still have the autonomy, the freedom to choose that whether we're going to use tools of the light and what God would want us to do, what Jesus would want us to do, or tools of our old sinful flesh. And like the battle is to become more like Christ in our hearts and minds and externally. And so this whole like idea of being in Christ has been this biggest thing of like, there's not anything I do that's separate from what I'm making Christ do. Does that make sense? So if I'm choosing to abandon my family, my shirk responsibilities, or like half-ass it on the job, or I'm making Jesus do that. Those are the sins that I'm committing that required his punishment. And so that whole concept of like, oh man, when I walk into work or I'm having thoughts that I shouldn't have, I'm essentially
it's like watching like a super bad with your mom in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're just like, all of a sudden, like the stuff being said on super bad and your mom's over there and you like look and you're like,
yeah. Which is,
it's all right.
That's actually, I have so many funny stories from the two. I mean, dude, we can go on, but the cool part of that is it's not like I have like this, like there's a fear of God, like an awful reverence that I have, but it's not like, it's no longer, oh my gosh, am I going to get in trouble for this? It's like this kind of relief of like, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to.
Where did that shift happen?
Because I recognize the pain that it caused, what had to happen for that, like the grace that was poured out for me to be able to be secure in that relationship. It makes me want to be obedient and actually provides a more fulfilling, more satisfying life.
I think people sometimes struggle with the idea of obedience to God. I mean, obviously, we all struggle with it.
Feels constricting.
It does.
Yeah.
But when you think about your role as a father, about how privileged you are to do things out of obedience for your kids, to where you feel fulfilled, like doing things, even some nights where I put him to bed and there's a whole house left to clean, and there's contracts left to send. I'll sit down on my computer, or I'll start cleaning the counters, or I'll start a load of laundry, and I'll just stop for a minute, and I'll be reminded that what a privilege it is that this is me.
Yeah.
That I got this.
Yeah.
That I get to do this for him. That he goes to sleep and he wakes up to a house that's clean.
Yeah.
Food that's ready.
Yeah.
Bills that are paid because his dad was laboring while he was sleeping. And so like that I think was how we should really posture ourselves to have a relationship with Jesus. But okay, but you went off course, come back to this.
All right.
When it comes to your situation with Landry.
Yeah.
Where do you align? Where are you and where's God?
Well, it comes back to the 2000s, right? WWJD bracelets. Like literally, Like it's almost that simple. Of like there's nothing I wouldn't do for her or for my family. The call of a dad, right? And the example that God through Jesus displayed was like to die for them.
Yeah.
And so, and you could look that up too. Like the call of a husband is to die for your wife, and it's just a picture of the gospel. For Landry, like there's no way to like sugarcoat that. It's like, oh, it's fine, because it's not. It's like it sucks.
Yeah.
Like just not having Landry is such a blessing, but AHC is the worst. It is the most unpredictable, uncontrollable thing, and I think that's what I've realized, and this has been another like here's what I won't stop doing is praying for her to be healed, because whether that's through fundraising efforts that we do that provide funds for research for these amazing scientists to do what they do, like, or he just miraculously decides, you know what, today's the day.
Yeah.
She's done with it. You know, I believe he can do that if he wants to. And I've prayed that prayer over her alone, with my wife, with other people, with pastors, and not getting that prayer answered right away hasn't impacted my faith at all.
Wow.
Like, I think it's having a kid with a disability has been the thing that has most improved my walk with the Lord, which sounds so counterintuitive, like, because there's this reality of like it feels so unfair, and there's one person that's in control of everything, and why would he allow that?
Yeah.
But the truth is, when we talked about it, comes right back to what we talked at the beginning. Like, our dad, our Father in heaven, he's a better dad than you, and you're a good dad. And you want to do things for your kid, and you want to provide that environment that he feels at peace in, and he feels secure in, and you want to give him things that he would never know to ask for, and blow his mind with your generosity and good experiences. And like, don't you think your Father in heaven can do such a better job than you?
Yeah.
And I had a friend that wanted to pray over Landry for her to be healed, and he approached it so humbly and cautiously and obediently, because it was super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you could ever imagine asking somebody like, "Hey, I see you kid is in a wheelchair. Can I pray over them to be healed?" And it's like, "No, get away from me, weirdo."
That's fair.
There's a deep relationship and trust there, and but when we had a conversation for an hour and a half talking, maybe 2 hours talking about that, because he didn't know how to approach us. And so, and his wife was totally against it. She's like, "You're going to ruin our friendship," like all this stuff.
I'm sure.
But it was one of the best conversations I've had. And what it made me realize was like, because I have a hesitancy I think the hesitancy I have in praying that prayer, and this is what I told him, and it feels so selfish, but I said, there's a part of me that doesn't want him to answer that prayer, because it would remove my daily dependence on him.
Dude.
Because seeing Landry like go through her episodes and go through that, and it forces me, it pulls me into a deeper relationship and a daily dependence on him, that if she didn't have that, I know that eventually I would take for granted. Now, don't get me wrong. If he heals her tomorrow, like, I'm going to be shouting it from the rooftops. You're going to hear about it on all the, news.
For sure.
Like, that's crazy.
Yes.
But like, how many months, how many years in would my dependence and my joy towards him and my gratitude, how fast would that fade? Man. And so, like, we're not built. Like, we're not made to be happy and like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, the goal of this life is not just happiness and comfort.
Yeah, dude.
It's to be conformed to the image of Christ and
Yeah,
to share that with other people so that they don't spend eternity separate from him.
Yeah, man.
And so to what lengths would I go for her? Like, where's the stopping point? Like, there is none.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a huge.
That's so good, dude. And because, and like to hear you articulate it too, because I've now sat at your dinner table multiple times, and I've seen how your other daughters interact with her. I've seen how your wife, because as an outsider, it is different than what you're used to. You know what I mean? Like when I sit down at your dinner table, it's different than mine.
It's loud.
Yeah. But like to you guys, it's not.
Oh.
I mean, it is still, but like, there will be absolute chaos going on. I've got one of your daughters sitting at my feet, blowing raspberries on my kneecaps. I got your other daughter trying to figure out what one of my tattoos says what.
Yeah.
The other one is got her finger in my water. And then Landry's, making noises while Caitlin's just hugging her and talking to us about our regular day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like this, I imagine this is what heaven is just like. I bet it's just as chaos as this. Like, I bet it's so good. I bet it's filled. But like, when you come into that, like the reason I leave so full from your house is just because one, I love your family and I'm always so welcome there. And that's such a privilege for me. But, it's really easy to see like a gospel-centered life and a successful life, like inside of one. Like, man, you look like you're really killing it because your life is cush and you have this really nice job and you're a business owner. And, we go to certain groups where there's a lot of dudes that you're like, those guys look like they're all at the top of the world.
Yeah.
And then you go sit at a dinner table where you're like, this is this guy's every night.
Yeah. This
is his every morning. I leave. I leave. I go home to quiet. You know what I mean? Like, this is his home. Like, he leaves the workplace of the hustle and bustle and trying to earn an income to feed his family. And then he comes home to that. And if one is sick or one's awake or mom's got one and the other one has something, like there's no rest for you.
Yeah.
Ever. And you somehow hold it so graciously.
Oh, no, I don't. Like at the end of the day, if my wife was on this, if she was sitting over here, she'd be like, what is happening? What are you talking about? Because the truth is, it's not. It's like it's a struggle every day.
Yeah.
And the cool part, and this is the coolest part, honestly. Like, it's talking about being in a committed relationship, being in a marriage, talking about how important that having somebody to do life with.
Yeah.
After almost 16 years of being married.
Wow.
I had my first real, like this morning, of like last night. I was so bogged down with pressure from the office and not getting anything done. And she was so gracious to me. And I was like not present. Like I was in another world and tried to, I was interacting. I wasn't being short or mean, but it was like, I obviously had this going on and I let her know. And she was just like, yeah, whatever. And I was up till the wee hours of the morning working on stuff. And then I got up this morning and the Holy Spirit was just like it just in the back, like you fool.
Yeah.
Like you blew it. Like everything you talk about having congruence and creating space in your life and like your business serving your family.
Yeah.
Like you blew it. Like you're a fraud. And I was like, well, the Holy Spirit didn't call me a fraud. I was like, hey, you dropped the ball here.
Sure.
I want to read into it that I'm a fraud, but I'm not. Like I messed up. So my identity is not a fraud or I am a failure. It's I have an opportunity to reach out to my wife right now and say, hey, I realized that the way the text that I sent her was like, I realized that the way I acted last night is not who I say I am. Like, so I've been prayerful. I feel very convicted for how I handled yesterday. Thanks for being kind and gracious towards me, but I'm very sorry. I know I need to repent of how I handled that pressure I was feeling, but I realized I was completely inward and consumed by that and didn't even give us a chance to connect. And she had so much go on that day.
Yeah.
Like she got a job offer. Like she hasn't worked in 7 years, really, like 5-7 years.
Yeah.
She got a job offer yesterday and I completely blew her off. And she had stuff we need to talk about that she was so gracious to just like allow me to be in my own little whiny bubble. And So I was praying about that, and I felt convicted. I sent her that text, and she was like, I was just praying about that too. And the Lord told me. And I was like, you know what? When we got married, we talked about having individual relationships with the Lord first.
Yeah.
And how he's going to help us relate to each other.
Yeah.
Like this triangulation. Like if we can be dependent on him first, then we can relate to each other better.
Yeah, that's good.
That was the first time I really 16 years. So I'm not not showing off here.
Right, right.
I failed hard.
Took me a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it was true. Like what God's designed for that was so much better than me just going like, well, I'm hustling and grinding for my family, and she's got to understand that some days it's going to be like that. And
that's
like,
so good, dude.
If people say that, like, it's just not true.
Huh.
It's just not true. Like, my relationship with her is more important than my work, than my relationship with my kids.
Yeah.
Like, the girls know.
Yeah.
She comes first.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about hearing you say that is I get to see it. I mean, it's easy to go, yeah, I do this, and I put my wife first, or I'm learning this, but like I get to be in that house, and you know, there's just no hiding what you guys have to, like, you know, with 3 little girls screaming, running around, and then with Landry eating, and you guys trying to have a dinner where no one gets hurt or is hanging from the ceiling or anything crazy.
Yeah, upside down from the counter.
Right. And then, but like watching you guys interact, like what you're doing with your wife, the way that you are using like tools and resources you've learned in your course of time being a believer, and like really leaning into what it looks like to be like God first husband, God first father. Like I see it. Like I see the way that your family is loved. It was so cool when we sat down at the table and we were asking your kids what was one thing that they'd say, and telling people that they were a child of God, and telling people about Jesus, and like hearing their soft hearts speak about that. And, you know, one minute they can be, you know, one of your kids asked if I had tats on my boobs. And then like, I also heard them ask, like, or explain that they were a child of God. And I'm like, that's a household he has. You know what I mean? Like it's not rehearsed. They weren't over here reciting things to like impress a guest.
Yeah.
Like that was just part of their vernacular because they'd heard it and they'd seen it, and they watched their mom love their dad, and they watched their dad love their mom, and they watched their mom and dad work well together to love Landry, and they've learned to love Landry, and they've learned to love each other. And when you're in that, you're like, this is what the gospel is. It's not a perfect picture. It doesn't have clean, smooth edges, but it is people in real situations loving with everything that they have, apologizing, self-reflecting, making decisions on behalf of others, and serving while admitting that they know nothing apart from Jesus.
100%.
That's it. That's your household, dude.
Whatever you just described, like that is not the household I grew up in.
Yeah.
There's nobody taught. I mean, it's just like trial by fire, but by the grace of God.
Yeah.
And like nothing but the grace of God to get like where we're at today, and we're going to screw it up tonight.
Sure.
You know, so
sure.
Like I want to be humble, but like the truth is like God's been really, really gracious to us and given us a sweet life.
Yeah.
That people, like you say, I mean, the way you're describing it to me makes it sound like, oh, it's a lot harder than what it is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's challenging things. I get frustrated and lose it, but like at the end of the day, I was on the way here. I saw this. I don't know why. I never look at this. So, you know, we're talking for a long time, bro. So I hope you got time. Caitlin got me this when I got like a new motorcycle several years ago. I don't know if you knew. I was pretty cool one day.
Okay.
Back in the day. But it says Daddy of Angels. So back in 2015, we had 2 miscarriages. So July 9th, 2015, and I realized like, oh my gosh, for whatever reason, my body was remembering that. I never look at this keychain. I don't even think about it, but that's coming up. And then November 5th, the same year, we lost our second baby. That's before we fostered and before we had any kids of our own. And then it's got 2 Corinthians 4, 6 through 18 on it written down, which is like kind of like encapsulates everything that we've talked about today. So the fact that I have a kid on this side of heaven right now is a miracle. Like there was a day where, and let this be an encouragement to anybody that wants something that they don't have right now, that's going through the infertility.
Yeah.
Like pursue it. If God's put that passion on your heart, like pursue it with all you can.
Yeah.
Just pursue it. And if he doesn't, like pursue a cure for AHC, right?
Yeah.
If he never cures it, it doesn't matter. Like if he doesn't cure it in my lifetime, I'm not interested in being the guy that is known for building the cathedral. I just want to put my stone in place. You know what I mean?
That's good, dude.
But this is the fact that I have a family. I have 4 girls. Landry has more of a ministry than I've ever had in my life.
Dude, does she?
I mean, like I'm just like, it's all grace, man. There's nothing.
Yeah. And you know, it's I want to be really careful to not give you too many flowers that are the Lord's. For real. Because again, like there is the other side of this too, where you see families with kids in certain similar situations that it has wrecked their entire family.
Yeah.
It is broken marriages. It is, abandonment, struggle. And that's a more reality than I think we've realized, because the hope that we have in Jesus is something that if you don't have, I almost don't understand how people make it. Like the world that we live in is hard.
It's hard.
It's ugly. It's mean. I mean, dude, gas was $3.01 and then gas was $3.49 a day later.
Yeah.
And like, I was just driving thinking about how we have to have gas to drive. Mm-hmm. And if they charged us $44 a gallon, we would have to pay it to get where we're going.
Yeah. Or not go.
And like, that's just gas.
Yeah.
And then I thought about education and then healthcare and then everything else. And like, dude, like doing life without knowing Jesus sucks.
It's hard. It's harder than it's hard. And I would also add that, like, I don't know. There's this sentiment that like life with Jesus makes it suddenly easier.
Speak to it.
Like, I've been a believer for way longer than I've had kids. You know what I mean? Like I was 13. Like life was significantly easier before I became a believer. And I can't speak to like people that lived through adulthood and became a Christian later in life, but like it doesn't necessarily make things easier. It's just like you've realigned your identity with something outside of just yourself.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this stuff's happening, but I'm his.
Yeah.
Like that's who I am, and I can deal with this a little better.
Yeah, the dark basement is still dark. It's
dark.
Still scary. There's still noises in there, but the basement suddenly becomes a secondary focus.
Yeah.
And our proximity to our dad, to our father is and I thought about my son.
The feeling of like despair, 'cause I've been there, like feel like hopeless at the bottom of the pit. 2015, the diagnosis, like there's this like, okay, it's like I'm undone.
Yeah.
Like I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm undone and I am done.
Yeah.
Like I can't do this anymore. And I've been at that point in my marriage in the last year.
Yeah.
Like even, and it's like, but there's this like safety cushion, like there's this net, right? Like a trapeze, like there's this like, I'm never at the point of utter despair because of my relationship and my identity as his.
It's almost like kind of like addiction, where the more that you know about addiction, the better you can battle it. And so for us, knowing our sin nature and knowing how selfish we are to respond certain ways, the more I can identify parts of that in my life, the more I can go, oh, that's me resorting back to me. Mm-hmm. That's me trying to make sense of, that's me trying to take control back from God. That's me in a parenting situation responding out of anger, not responding out of kindness or like patience or understanding. The other night, Cohen we were outside in the patio and all the lights were on in my house and he wanted a glass of water. He asked if I go get him a glass of water. I said, brother, you got legs? Go get it. And he saw him start to walk towards the door and he stopped. And he was like, I don't really want water that bad. And I was like, dude, go get water. And he was like, no, it's okay. And so I discovered that he was scared.
Oh, okay.
And it was nighttime.
Yeah.
Lights were still on. And like, I got so frustrated because I was like, dude, we eat in there. We sleep in there. You know, that's our house, bro. Like, the lights are on. You can see me through this window right here. And he was so afraid to go. Finally, after like laboring to get him, he goes in there. And it's like he like runs in, gets a sip of water, and runs back out. And as the father, I was like, buddy, there is nothing that can snatch you away from me. Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you could just conceptually understand that a little bit more than you do, you would never walk in fear again.
Yeah. 100%.
And the Lord was like, yeah,
Are you
same.
listening?
Yeah, same, bro. And I'm like, dude. And so like, even so this week at church, whenever he spoke about like the proximity of God, and like Psalms 23, it says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. And it was like, inevitably we're walking. I mean, there's no just in case you walk through the valley. It's like, hey, when you do, because it's coming for everybody, you know, pain, heartache, struggle, failure. It doesn't avoid you because you know Jesus. In fact, it looks for you.
Yeah.
Which I want to touch on too in a second.
And we got to get to
But like, so all of that is still okay because we are in the presence of the Father.
Yeah. You made me, and I want to get to that point where you were just alluding to, because I want to hear more. But it made me think of this image that somebody painted for me. I remember who it was, so I apologize. But they painted this picture of, like, you ever see like a kid in like a really busy, like, imagine like a big playground, right? And you taking Cohen to go play, and it's like this ginormous thing.
Yeah.
And you're just like, hey, go play, go have fun, get it. I'm gonna be over here. Well, eventually he's gonna run out, and then he's gonna play, and he's gonna be in a crowd, and he's gonna, you know, that feeling that the kid gets was like, oh, like you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't find you.
Yeah.
They don't see you, but like you haven't left him.
Right.
Like, you've got your eye on him the whole time.
Yep.
And like that's the picture of like God. Even like people that are lost, that are not believers today, you don't know this right now, but like you feel lost. Like there's things going wrong. You feel like you don't know where you've been, where you're going, or what's going on right now.
Yeah.
It's like you're that little kid on the playground, and you're trying to make it look good, and maybe you're trying to play it off.
Yep.
But you're scared.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like he's like locked in on you.
Yeah.
And he'll come after you. Like you just need to, call.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like
that's really good.
He's got his eyes on you, and I know that's me too. Like the difference is now I have the confidence to know that like it doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
It does matter. Like and I want to do things that make him happy, but like I can choose to do this or do that, and I know that he's like, okay, well I'm with it. I'm with you. So,
yeah. Yeah. I think my fear sometimes almost negates my view of God's power, his sovereignty. Because I'm like, dude, if I really believe this stuff, why would I be afraid of this?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
So the thing I was going to speak on, my little cousin Landon, so he's little, he's a giant, but we talk almost every day. And I was telling him all this stuff that was going on, and I was like, bro, like I'm just getting smoked. Like the enemy is just all up in my business. And so I tell him everything that's going on, and he was like, hey, you ever think that maybe it's not the enemy? And I was like, no, because bad stuff is happening and I'm trying to do good stuff, so it must be the enemy. And he was like, yeah, but do you ever think that by speaking that way that you kind of give him authority that he didn't already have? And I was like, I don't know. Keep going. And so he's like, well, like there are circumstances, there are consequences, there are outcomes that are just natural reoccurrences of life. You know what I mean? Like people get their cars hit all the time. It's not Satan out there driving somebody's car crazy to hit your truck. But by you acknowledging Satan, by you acknowledging the enemy, by you making everything spiritual warfare, do you think that you are giving him power that he may not have had? And I'm kind of laboring over that. I'm not really sure what to do with that because I don't, the Bible does tell us that he gave Adam dominion over the earth. Like he gave man dominion, and Satan had to be granted access. And so like even in the decisions in our life, we had to open up a seat at our table for him to sit there. And I'm like, bro, maybe I'm just out here thugging through the hard parts of life that are just the hard parts of life. And I'm giving Satan credit that he was like, oh, sure. Yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
And he had no, he had no point of reference on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, dude, there's a lot because I think God will, like, it's pretty well documented. Like you mentioned Job earlier.
Yeah.
That God's in control, but he's going to allow trials. He's going to allow things. I think was that Philip Anthony Mitchell.
Yeah.
That realized he was like, why would he make your life perfect now?
Yeah.
What would you have to look forward to? But like there's spiritual. You can't negate the fact there is spiritual warfare going on.
Absolutely,
100% true. But I think the enemy is most of the time way more subtle than that.
Yeah.
Than to like have somebody hit your car.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's way more subtle and more getting at like the root of things, like your patience, your fear, your control, and it's more things like, my yesterday, right? Like, how am I going to respond when I get home? And you know what? I lost that one.
Yeah.
Like but the cool thing is when you start to realize that, it feels like Satan then starts to overplay his hand a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, you thought that was going to like stop me from sharing the gospel or like cause me to like stumble, and look what God did. Like he pulled me through. Like I depended on him. You actually overplayed your hand, bro.
Yeah.
Like that was too big. You need to be more subtle next time.
Yeah.
But like, I think the like even this, like what we're doing right now, talking, like this has not been easy to do.
Sure.
We're in location 2.0. Like none of this has been easy.
Yeah.
But this has like been such a necessary conversation.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to unpack. I feel like we just kind of squirreled around, but I appreciate it.
That's okay. That's typically how our conversations go. And you've got a podcast and I've got a podcast, and neither one of us have posted in a while.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's an excuse. I think we have busy lives and we have all sorts of stuff going on. And even like I said, like the mandates thing, it's really easy to get caught up in the numbers. Cause like the first question someone asked me is how many people came.
Yeah.
And like that, I want to report tons.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if there was a dude that came who went home a better husband that night, who kissed his kids a little bit sweeter, who decided to live a week longer, then man, like that's what we did.
Okay.
So like the same in this, dude. Like I don't want to miss the intentionality of conversations like this. We both admit we are not the authorities on anything. We are walking, talking dumpster fires who just try and lean on each other because community and accountability is all you got.
Right.
But man, I pray that the conversation had here amongst men who really are fighting hard to be good men in their businesses and their families as fathers.
Be encouraged.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Yeah.
And just know that like the struggles that you're facing are not unique to you. I'm not making light of the struggles, but I'm just saying like sometimes my social media looks like I'm killing it. And a lot of times I am killing everything else, like wrecking it, not doing well, responding. Like if I posted the times that I yelled at Cohen for things that were so minuscule because my heart was in the wrong place and like my inability to regulate my own emotions, then half of y'all would be like, this guy sucks. I wouldn't even follow him.
This is a reason this isn't like a documentary. Let's follow
Right,
Michael
yeah,
and
dude. I
Caleb
gotta
around.
pick and choose, bro, because
This is not good. Don't let us posture. Here's what I think what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we're
good.
not trying to posture as people that aren't any better or have some sort of magic bullet.
No, but I also want men to see like how healing this conversation is.
For me
too.
and also very convicting. Like
because like there are things that Michael, like even in his separate Bible study that he brings to me that are a blessing to me. And we've developed some rapport now with each other to where, you know, we can say hard things to each other. And so I know when he speaks about my mom or when I speak about his family or when we talk about tough things that we welcome a tougher conversation because of the relationship we built. So I talk about all the time in Man Days, like community is so important, fellas. If you're not having conversations like this, it's hard to improve.
Yeah.
It's hard to rest. I mean, I think as men, we're constantly trying to do both of those things. We're always trying to get to the top in our business, in our profession, in our career, whatever. And then we're always exhausted and we're always seeking a place to rest. And so like you can do both of those things simultaneously in relationship with good, strong, godly men.
That's so good.
So,
and if you don't want to be challenged, and you just want to be like told you're awesome, you can just hang out with my daughters. if you want to have hard conversations, you hang out with me more. But like, they love their crazy Aunt Caleb. So
yeah, dude, that's hurtful. That's hurtful to be called Aunt Caleb, but I'll take it. All right. Well, so I don't even know whose podcast this is. We'll say it's a collaboration between the Better Dad podcast and Heavyweights. And there's probably more episodes to come of other things that we've delayed and ran around the corner. But nonetheless, may God take this conversation and go places that it can never go by itself.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.